Hey guys, Sonic Smash Bro here, and you might be wondering why I didn't hit King of Games last month. Put quite simply, I wasn't exactly motivated to play Duel Links in the state it was in. And arguably the state it's still in, but we'll get to that in a minute. But, once the new ban list dropped and I saw that a little something called tuning came off the list finally, yup! Synchron Quasar with the Jet Doppel combo is back. It's back, it's better than ever, and I rushed like hell to hit King of Games as soon as possible, and I barely got it done in time. So, this will be card for card what I am playing in the KC Cup, so it's time to profile this by looking at A Bond Illuminates the Future first. You should know what this does by now. Each effect can only be used once per duel, and you can change the position of cards set by this skill. First effect, send a Synchron or a level 2 Wind Warrior with 1,000 or less attack from hand to grave. Then add a Synchron from deck to hand, and set Synchro Chase from outside of the deck. You should know what Synchro Chase does by now. Can't activate cards or effects in response to the effect activations of your Synchro monsters with Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust and the original names. And if you Synchro summon a Synchro monster with one of those names once per turn, you can bring back one of its materials in defense mode. This gets really broken, and you'll see why. Anyway, second effect, send all monsters you control to your graveyard, or rather the graveyard. If the total of the original attack of the monsters sent to the graveyard is a combined 2,500 or more, set 2 random Signer Dragons out of the 4 with different names from outside of your deck. You know what this can bring out by now. And turn 3 and onward, return 1 Stardust Dragon from the field or graveyard to the extra deck, then change the level of all Synchro monsters you control to level 2, and set a Lifestream Dragon from outside of the deck. You know how this works by now. Once more, this can only be used if you begin a duel with an extra deck that contains a level 10 or higher light monster, and no monsters other than Synchro monsters, and a main deck that contains at least 7 level 2 or lower Warrior type or Machine type monsters. You know how this works, so let's start things off in style. Double Junk Synchron, still the timeless classic. When normal summoned, you can target a level 2 or lower monster in the grave, special summon it in defense with effects negated, does not matter. Doppel Warrior, only 2 of them this time. There is a reason for this. First of all, the effect. When a monster is special summoned from your graveyard except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it's sent to the grave as a Synchro material, you can special summon 2 level 1 Dark Warrior type Doppel tokens with 400 attack and defense each in attack position. There is a reason we only play 2 now. As good as Doppel is for the Jet and Doppel combo, you don't always want to be seeing him. You always want to be seeing him if Jet is available, but he can clog up your hand sometimes. And we don't want that all the time. Besides, we have a new option now. But before we get to that, Double Jet Synchron, this is 2 of our limit 3 slots. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a Synchro material, you can add 1 junk monster from deck to hand. Or, if it's in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field, and it's 1 effect per turn, only once that turn, so it's a hard 1 effect per turn. And Double Junk Converter, you can discard this card and 1 tuner, add a Synchron monster from deck to hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a Synchro material, you can target a tuner in your graveyard, special summon it in defense, but it can't activate its effects this turn. That basically does not matter, because either you're Synchro climbing when you use this, or you're bringing back Formula Synchron. Yeah! And lastly, for monsters, 1 Synchron Explorer. When this card is normal summoned, you can target a Synchron monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. That's it for monsters. On the spells, no traps. Double Book of Moon. Target a face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down defense. You know what we use this for by now. The 1 Forbidden Lance. Target 1 face-up monster on the field until the end of this turn. A target loses 800 attack, but it's unaffected by the effects of other spell and trap cards. I would have loved to play 2 and just go Double Lance, Double Chalice. But sometimes, the monster negate is too good to ignore. The Lance does still come up, but we still need triple Cosmic Cyclone for Odd Eyes Pendulum Scales. Pay 1,000, target a spell or trap on the field, and banish it. It also works against Infinite Light, because yeah, now Time Lords are making their return because of all this. Also because Dark Magician is just about freaking everywhere. Double tuning now that it's finally off the list. Add a Synchron tuner from deck to hand and send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Yep, we're back to essentially having 4 jets, and it's beautiful. And I believe last up is Triple Forbidden Chalice. Target a face-up monster on the field until the end of this turn. It gains 400 attack, but the effects are negated. This can be important in a lot of situations. We do need 3 of these. Yep, that is it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. Of course, the Shooting Quasar Dragon makes his grand return. Must be Synchro summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Maximum number of attacks per battle phase equals the number of non-tuner monsters used as Synchro material. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you have an Omni Negate, and when the card leaves the field, you can special summon 1 Shooting Star Dragon from your extra deck, but I'm gonna warn you right now, we actually don't have room for Shooting Star Dragon this time around. That's the one downside to this build, is we don't have room for the float, but what we have is good enough. Stardust Warrior. During either player's turn, if your opponent with special summon monsters not through an effect, you can tribute this card, negate the summons, and if you do, destroy those monsters. During the end phase, if this effect was activated and not negated, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, and if it's destroyed by battle or if this face-up card you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 level later or lower Warrior Synchro monster from your extra deck, and it's treated as a Synchro summon. Once more, we don't play floats. That's kind of the only negative, is that we don't have a backup play most of the time if Quasar or Stardust Warrior go down. Because we actually needed room for this, the Limit 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. What were they thinking giving Synchrons this power? Once per turn during either player's turn, when another monster's effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster, and if you do that, this card gains attack equal to the destroyed monster's original attack until the end of this turn. If this card battles an opponent's level 5 or higher monster, during damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the current attack of the opponent's monster it is battling during that damage calculation only. And that's not once per turn. For some reason, people don't read that. Of course, the Stardust Dragon, we still need this thing. During the player's turn, when a card effect is activated that will destroy a card on the field, you contribute it, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And during the end phase, if this was activated successfully, you can special summon it from your graveyard. Still a classic, still needed for the Bot Illuminates the Future skill's full power. Formula Synchron, when this card is Synchro summoned, you can draw 1 card, and once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can essentially just Excel Synchro. And we also have Catapult Warrior. Once per turn, you contribute 1 junk monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of the original attack of the tributed monster. I still don't go back to Junk Warrior, mainly because of Clear Lane. However, Catapult Warrior has proven his worth sometimes. Sometimes the tribute damage that he can provide is just enough to push for game on that turn, when otherwise it wouldn't be. It's funny when it happens. Scarred Warrior. Your opponent cannot target face-up warrior-type monsters for attack except for this one, and once per turn, if it would be destroyed by battle, it's not destroyed. But, last but not least, making his grand return, Tatsunoko. Now that tuning is off the list. If this Synchro summoned monster would be used as a Synchro material, 1 monster in your hand can be used as one of the other Synchro materials, and it is unaffected by other monsters' effects, for some reason. I don't get it either. That's it for the main deck and extra deck. No real alternatives to speak of this time. This just works way too well. Again, you could do double Chalice, double Lance instead, but I just find that this works better for me personally. At least for now. I might switch it around to double Chalice, double Lance at some point, just to have more anti-back row, because you know me and my back row hate. Give us Twin Twisters already, Konami. But, moving on to the replays. And, let's just say I was on fire, but before we get to that, I have a couple of bonus replays to show off, because these were some fun games. First up, we have the return of Full Power Dark Magician. Because for some reason, they decided to take Magician's Rod and Magician's Navigation off the list.
You have no
Yay.
what tricks I have up my sleeve.
Sure.
So here, I actually do get the full combo, so I'm going to show how the combo works here. All you need is Jet Synchron and Doppel Warrior. So what you're going to do is, right out the gate, you're going to use Bond Eliminates the Future's first effect. You're going to put Jet Synchron in the graveyard, to add Junk Synchron to your hand, and set the Synchro Chase. Flip the Synchro Chase because you're gonna need it, and you can also possibly force a Cosmic Cyclone this way. Normal summon Junk Synchron to bring Jet Synchron back to your field, and that is going to allow you to trigger Doppel Warrior's effect to special summon it from your hand. Use the Junk Synchron and the Doppel Warrior to, in this case, we're doing things a little bit differently than normal. Normally, I put Scarred Warrior at the end of the combo. But here, he's coming out first. Because I want him in the extra monster zone for a very specific reason.
I activate my monster's effect.
Use Doppel Warrior's graveyard effect, get your 2 Doppel tokens, then use Jet Synchron and one of those tokens to Synchro Summon Formula Synchron. Chain 1 Formula Synchron, Chain 2 Jet Synchron's effect in the graveyard to search your Junk Converter before you draw a card. At this point, set whatever back row you might need. I got Cosmic at the perfect time. Put it to you that way. Anyway, now we use Formula Synchron and the other Doppel token to Synchro Summon Tatsunoko. Then, use Tatsunoko and the Junk Converter in our hand to Synchro Summon Catapult Warrior.
Level 5, Catapult Warrior!
Next, we're going to activate Synchro Chase to bring back Tatsunoko, and use Junk Converter's graveyard effect to bring back Formula Synchron.
The Synchro Tuner Formula Synchron! I'm counting on you. I special summon a monster.
Now, we're going to stop right here. You'll see what I'm doing in a second, because this is actually where the combo breaks. On one hand, you can just go straight for the shooting Quasar Dragon right away without needing the skill's other effects. Alternatively, you can do what I'm doing here. Use the Catapult Warrior and the Tatsunoko to Synchro Summon either Stardust Dragon, only if you're going against Dot Eyes at the time, or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon.
I end my turn.
Yeah, what were they thinking?
I draw. From my hand, I activate
Dark Magical Circle, this is why I got Cosmic at the perfect time.
From my hand, I activate a spell.
Pot of Duality, one of my most hated spells in Yu-Gi-Oh! Genuinely.
I set a card.
Formula Synchron's effect activates. Strike with a
Now,
fist that crushes
I don't get to show it off here,
Excel
but
Synchron.
essentially, what you should be doing with this, I might be showing it off in the normal replay, I forget if I do, is you activate Crystal Wing to a monster negate, and chain Formula Synchron. Synchro Chase will force that to resolve, and get your Stardust Warrior out for free. What this does is allows you to bring out Crystal Wing from the graveyard thanks to Synchro Chase. What that does as a result
It's go time.
is
My
give you 2 monster negates with 1 Crystal Wing.
I set a card. I'm not scared to attempt.
Now I throw here, I should have just swung with Crystal Wing first and ended it on Scarred Warrior.
My face down card.
But because of that, now he gets to bring out Dark Magician. And I forgot that thing had 2100 defense, so he gets to live for 1 turn.
Let's see what you can do.
You haven't seen my
I
best
end my
tricks
turn.
yet. I draw. From my hand, I activate a spell.
Another freaking Pot of Duality. Yay. Grabs Treacherous Trap Hole,
I activate a continuous spell.
then gets Dark Magician, which is kind of pointless. Now, I figured that was Treacherous Trap Hole, right?
I set a monster. Battle. Here I go. I attack you directly.
No, it was Magician Navigation.
I special. You fell right into my trap. Here I go. I activate my monster.
So before the Crystal Wing gets banished,
Go! I attack with my monster.
he decides to just Eternal Soul and bring back Dark Magician for no reason.
You haven't seen my best tricks yet. I draw.
Now, I specifically let this happen because I know if I don't, he just used Eternal Soul, banish my Stardust Warrior, and I'd have nothing left. So I let him bring out even Illusion Magician, and then immediately flip the Book of Moon.
I flip over my face down card. I activate a quick play. Time to put the pedal to them. I draw.
Spoiler alert, that was Magician's Roddy set. The Junk Synchron top deck came at the perfect time, allowing me to go straight into Stardust Dragon. So, let's let this animation play out. It is the only animation in the deck, after all.
I activate a continuous spell.
I don't know why I did that, I just wanted to have some fun with it.
Each card.
So we get to see the full effect of Bond Eliminates the Future.
The mighty, the majestic. Witness the
So
bond
yeah,
of
the
my
full
cards.
extra deck actually got to come out and play in this one duel.
Evolve.
And so,
To blast through my limitations. The stars unite to brighten the future. Form the road of light. Limit over itself synchro.
that kind of tied down perfectly, wow.
Shooting Quasar Dragon.
Anyway,
I'm not scared to attack.
I specifically
Shooting Quasar
swing into
Dragon.
Even Illusion here to try and bait the Eternal Soul.
Here I go. Attack. Let's see what you can do.
And he doesn't bite.
Tricks yet. I draw. I set a
Draws into a new back row because we know the last card in hand is Treacherous
Time
Trap
to
Hole.
put the pedal to the metal. My I draw.
my continuous.
So,
Shooting Quasar Dragon's effect.
he wanted me to negate the Eternal Soul.
I play
to
my
flip
face
Crackdown.
down card. My continuous trap activates.
There is a reason I flipped this
My
book
face
here.
down card. I activate a quick play spell.
And that's to make sure that the effect still goes on.
My continuous
Eternal
trap
Soul's little
activates.
downside comes into play.
I know what to do. I summon a monster from my hand.
Doppel Warrior, Forbidden Chalice.
Ah, no one said
He
this
got
would be a curtains
outplayed.
for me.
Growing up on the street.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure
if
if Crackdown stops
every
effects
card
that
and move
already
led me to
activated
this
from
victory.
resolving. I could be wrong about that. But I wanted to make sure his Eternal Soul was off the table. Had he just waited like a smart person, yeah. But, as mentioned many times, Dark Magician players, and to that end most Duel Links players, don't actually know the game. And for the second bonus replay, a deck I had not seen in a long time. Ever since the skill nerf. But people have finally found a way to make it good. Or at least
With
usable.
my cards and my friends by my
You'll learn first. Duel.
We are dealing
I activate the spell card Excella.
with
It's
Galaxy
summoned
Eyes.
4 lower photon of Galaxy. Come out, Galaxy Wizard.
So, with the skill nerf to Exceed Galaxy, now Galaxy Eyes has to be a lot more
Galaxy
aggressive.
Wizard to activate its effect. I pay my life points to activate.
Activates Galaxy Trance to get out 2 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons.
Say hello to
Because I haven't
Galaxy
seen the deck in a
Eyes
while.
Photon.
Let's let this summon animation play out, because it looks so good. That always looks cool. Seems to slow down my phone, though.
Say hello.
So, here's the thing. He goes straight into Neo Galaxy Eyes for some reason. I don't know why he does it.
Neo Galaxy Eyes negates the effects of all other cards. Photon Howling! I set a card.
And sets one card in the back. Unfortunately, I don't happen to get Cosmic here.
My spell card, Toonie. Each card has
Just grab Synchron Explorer just to be safe.
I flip over my face down card. I activate my spell
Trying to force a Cosmic.
Toonie.
Turns out that's not what it is.
Jet
So I
sequence effect.
do get
Here's my tuner monster.
2
Jet,
mil of the Doppel
tuner
Warrior.
monster, junk,
And as such, I decided to take a bit of a risk.
Okay. I'm wearing the marks of endless war. His spirit still scarred.
Scarred Warrior.
I
Get my
activate
Doppel
my
tokens. Now the risk here is, do I hard draw the Junk Converter with Formula Synchron? If I do, we have full combo. Or so I thought.
Formula Synchron's effect activate. I know what to do. I synchro summon a monster. From my hand, I activate.
At this point, I Cosmic Cyclone. And that's Photon Stream of Destruction. Goodbye, Scarred Warrior.
Photon Stream of Destruction.
I'll set a card.
Now, on this turn, I make a bit of a mistake.
I draw. The radiance of the solar system guides me to a new world.
Now,
The new
I don't know why he decided to
pure light.
go for full armor Photon Dragon, but he did, and that's gonna cost him.
You're not the only one full of surprises.
Book of Moon,
Let's go. Galaxy Knight.
Galaxy Knight. Thankfully, he does not have a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in the grave or in his hand. But he is going into Dingirsu, the Orchestra of the Evening Star. And this is where I make the mistake. I don't know why I flipped Chalice here. Actually, no, it was a good thing I did that, because he could have went for Synchro Chase. That's probably what he was going to do.
Let's battle. Feast on this.
And no matter what, I'd lose next turn anyway, so hey, this worked out at least a little bit better than it should have. But we get to do the usual Synchron climb. Actually, wait a minute, no. I didn't have Converter in the graveyard. That wasn't a misplay. Because if I didn't do that, if he went for Synchro Chase, I would have had nothing. So I actually had to flip Chalice there. I had to think that over for a second. Ignore what I said earlier. And well, you know how this is gonna go. And speaking of making mistakes, why does everybody who plays Dingirsu constantly do the exact same error? We're gonna see the full effect of Bond Illuminates again.
I'll rev it up to blast through my limitations. The evolution of I set a card.
And the error is right here. He can actually survive this, but he makes the stupid mistake of using Dingirsu
I've never encountered a strategy that tough. Well done.
to prevent everything from being destroyed.
In all my cards.
But that also
And
puts
this
him in
belief
lethal.
was what allowed
Why
me
do
to
people
win.
do this when they can live another turn? Yes, it was a time limit win. I don't care. I had game anyway because he did that. Why do people playing Dingirsu do that? It makes no sense. Anyway, on to the actual climb proper, starting from Legend 5. As usual, in order to get to King of Games from Legend 5, you have to win 5 games in a row. And, I was on complete fire. I don't know how I did it, but I got lucky enough to do this on the first attempt. And if you couldn't tell from the very bottom there, I ran into this guy once before. He's a Blue Eyes, and with all due respect, he's bad. Very bad.
Whatever your reason for dueling me, you better not waste my time by holding back.
Duel.
My turn. From my hand.
So he just plays ancient rules.
The light from my dragon erases the shadows.
Brings out Blue Eyes, sets a monster for some reason, because I knew for a fact, given it's on eyes, that, not on eyes, Blue Eyes, but that card is Karma Cut. So he should have kept his White Stone of Ancients, I believe that is? It's been a minute since I played Duel Links, okay? And it's also been a minute since I've seen Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes kinda sucks now. It also doesn't help that this guy is just bad at the game, and you'll see what I mean in a second.
I know what to do. Here's my tuner. I'm counting on you. I synchro summon a monster. Jet
So this is another
synchro
combo
summon.
we can do. Pitch Jet to add Synchron Explorer, use that to bring back the Jet, go into Tatsunoko, Search Converter, go into Catapult Warrior, and we have both Synchro Chase
I activate a continue.
and
I activate my
our Junk
monster
Converter
effect.
on deck. It's a pretty basic combo, but it works. Now you would think to tribute the Junk Converter,
I special
sometimes you
summon a
do,
monster.
but most times you don't.
I know what to do.
There's a reason for that. You would rather have the extra body on board in case Crystal Wing goes down,
I'll set a card. I'm not
so you can at least defend yourself for a bit longer.
I activate my
But yeah, no,
monster
you'll see in a minute that this is Karma Cut. I don't know why,
you can do. It's not over. I end my turn.
but he just,
You'll pay
he
for
should have
this.
played the
I
White Stone of
end my
Ancients
turn.
from hand.
I won't let you win.
He could have
this.
stopped me,
It's my turn.
and he
I
just
draw.
chooses not to, and I don't know why.
I
You
activate a
won't
quick
escape
play
from
spell.
me. I'll use my set card. I activate a trap.
The tuner monster Junk Synchron. Junk Synchron.
Yeah, I needed to book a Moon My Own Crystal Wing there,
What to do. I'll set a card.
just to be safe.
Wearing the marks of endless wars, his starred warrior.
Because I needed to make sure I could get that back row off the field.
The tuner monster Junk Synchron. The hopes of the world coalesce into
But
a
knowing that that was Karma Cut,
flight. Stardust
why did he
Dragon.
not just keep White Stone of Ancients in hand? He actually could have stopped me. He could have had game. Well, maybe. And yet he just...
Each card has
Why? Why are you this bad, dude?
the mighty, the majestic.
That just kinda goes to show that Duel Links players don't read.
Witness the bomb.
This is not the first time I've seen a misplay either. I had a situation where I intentionally target, I believe it was his main with Eyes of Blue,
Rev it up to blast through my
the one that can quick effect activate on targeting. While I had Crystal Wing on the field, I was trying to bait it, and he fell for it. It was so obvious. This is now the second time I have seen him misplay so hard. And in Duel Links, especially with the current metagame, you're about to see what that does to you.
Burst of creation. Go. I attack you directly. Enjoy this for now. The power of my bond over you.
Yeah, any misplay can cost you. Take notes. It almost costed me against that one Dark Magician earlier before I got to Legend 5. Put it to you that way. But, moving right along. Okay, you want to know why I was thinking On Eyes instead of Blue Eyes earlier in that replay discussion? Because the next game was On Eyes. In my honest opinion, the best deck of the format.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I know some people think it's Destiny Hero. Not really. It's still On Eyes because On Eyes is still
I
broken.
never turn down a duel.
I'll duel Tane like my duel.
And so the one good thing about having Crystal Wing in here now, although you could play Draco Berserker of Atengi when that bundle comes out, is we at least have a basic combo structure in case we don't have much else. You may be wondering why I set the two Cosmics. It's On Eyes. You just have to prioritize setting Cosmics.
Level 5. I activate a continuous spell. The tuner monster jumps. Okay. I synchro summon a monster. I end my turn.
So here's how this goes.
Go. I draw. Join the cast.
Normal summon Performance Pal Skullcrabat Joker.
There's still hope
Crystal
for me.
Wing says no.
I activate my monster's effect.
He thankfully does not have Pendulum Call.
I set the pendulum scale.
So, scales Skullcrabat Joker for some reason, and Wisdom Eye Magician.
There's still hope.
Cosmic says no to the Wisdom Eye,
I set the pendulum
and scale your On Eye's Pendulum Dragon. Cosmic says no to Vase. I knew for a fact
Here's my
earlier
face down card.
that
I activate
the card he
quick
drew
play
was Book of
spell.
Moon, and in that case, if that was the case, he actually could have played through me.
I'm setting a card. That brings my turn to an end.
He could
This is
have
the
booked my
perfect
Crystal
test
Wing
to go
early
beyond my
before, you know,
limits.
it got
It's
to do
my
anything.
I draw. I activate my spell.
I guess he was
card.
worried about Lance or something? But at this point, I pretty much have game as long as that wasn't a Pitcher's Trap Hole or something. But it actually can't be, because On Eye's Raging Dragon got put to limit
Wearing the
1.
marks of endless wars, his spirit still burns. Scarred warrior.
So this means, no matter what he played,
The tuner monster Junk Sink. The hopes of the
He had
world
no way to
coalesce
stop
into
me.
A single star. Let's rev it up. Synchro summon. Take flight.
Now's my
let's
chance.
book a Moon, and at that point
Check
he's
out
just
the card
toast.
I set. I activate a quick play spell.
A duelist
Because no
star.
matter when he flipped the back row, I would have had the Signer Dragons and I just would have ended him.
If I dual tane like this,
As a duel.
Yeah, thankfully I opened double Cosmic. If you can't get much else other than the Crystal Wing, you need to hope you have those. That is why I do 3 Cosmics instead of double Cosmic, double Lance. Just saying. I believe this one was next, and it's time for Trickstar. This one I was worried about because Trickstar tends to have a nasty reputation with Holly Angel Trick here to go Crimson Heart,
Sure.
draw
I
2,
never
sit
turned
on
down a
triple
duel.
back row.
Hey, you!
Duel. It's my
Thankfully,
turn.
I went
Duel.
first. Unfortunately, I didn't open my full combo.
I flip over my pick. I activate my monster's effect. I need your help.
Come to think of it, I don't think I opened full combo
activate my monster's
in this
effect.
entire climb outside of the bonus replay.
Here's my tuner monster Jet Sync. Okay. I synchro summon a monster.
Oh, well, at least I got to show it off. Starts the Junk Synchron because I already have Converter in hand.
Wearing the marks of endless wars, his spirit still scarred. I activate a continuous.
I went
activate my
Scarred
monster's
Warrior there
effect.
because I didn't know what hand trap was in their hand.
I need your
So at
help.
least worst comes to worst, I at least had some line of defense.
I synchro summon a monster. I end my turn.
I'm going all out today. My turn. I draw.
The hand trap they have
Activate my monster's effect. Trickstar Candina.
is White Princess. Now you may be wondering why I let that happen. It's to make sure Candina couldn't actually search
So
safely.
that's your move.
I end my
They
turn.
wanted to bait me into stopping White Princess.
It's my turn. I drop the tuner monster Junk
I'm not
Synchron
one to fall for that.
Synchron's effect. I know what to do.
Search the converter, and if they have DD Crow, this is an option select once again.
Level 5.
Because I'm bringing back both the Junk Synchron and a Jet Synchron. So if they DD Crow one, the other can in some way go into Stardust Dragon.
The tuner monster Junk Sync. The hopes of the world coalesce into a single. Take flight.
Stardust Dragon as usual.
Jet Synchron's effect.
Search another Junk Synchron in case there's another turn, but there probably won't be.
The mighty. My friend. Witness the.
And we go shooting Quasar Dragon. Now there is one worry I had knowing that they had White Princess. And that's if they had two of them in their hand.
I'm not scared to attack. Attack shooting Quasar Dragon.
Not gonna
The
happen.
first of great
They only
shooting
had
Quasar
one.
Dragon's effect.
The other hand trap was a Trickstar Korobane.
As a du-
Just one though. So that one, I just straight up got really lucky.
If you're gonna stand in my
Next up, the
with my
return of
cards in my
Salam.
just like playmate.
Duel. It's go time. Witness the
So I once more have to do the Tatsunoko combo, but I at least have a follow-up for the next turn because I also already opened the Synchron Explorer.
I activate a continuous spell. I set a card. I set a card.
Set both back rows because they're both going to be
I
important.
activate my monster's effect. Here's my tuner monster, Jet. I need your help. I synchro summon a monster. Jet Synchron's effect. I synchro summon a monster.
Put up my line of defense just in case.
I activate a continuous. I activate my monster's effect. Okay.
Although that would later kind of prove to be a bad idea.
Counting on you. I synchro summon a monster. I end my turn.
No holding back. I draw. Salaman Great Foxy. I activate
Foxy
Salaman
activates.
Great
Here,
Foxy's
I just
effect.
let that go through. And as usual, they always seem to get the mirror, even if they only play one. I don't know how they do it, they just do.
Salaman Great Mirror. Salaman Great Mirror. I activate my quick play spell.
Special summon
Salaman
mirror.
Great Circle.
Circle searches Beat Bison and not Gazelle for some reason.
Plays the circuit. I link summon. Appear. Plays the circuit.
Fortunately for me, he already had Sanctuary in hand.
Link 2. I activate my field spell. Salaman Great Beat Bison's
You're not the
effect.
only one full of
Activate.
surprises.
Beat Bison activates, Crystal Wing says no.
Monster's effect.
Because it's not on the field, Bailing doesn't get to
I
protect
blaze
it.
the circuit that scorches the path to the future. Reincarnation Link Summon.
And just to have something different, let's show the Reincarnation Link Summon animation.
Be reborn. Check out Sunlight Wolf's reincarnation
I
effect.
knew you'd try
Sunlight
that.
Wolf, there is a reason I chalice here. And that reason
I
is,
activate a quick play spell.
I need to hold my lance for actual back row. So the worst case scenario becomes,
Salaman Great Claw.
I Cosmic one back row, if I draw into Cosmic at all.
Let's battle.
And then I have Lance for the other.
Attack.
But he has Salaman Great Claw,
I
This
thought
is the
I'd win this
perfect
duel
test
by
to go.
now.
I draw.
I end my
The tuner monster Junk
to give himself some
Synchron.
piercing damage.
Junk Synchron's effect. know
I
what
think
to
you
do.
see what I'm doing here.
Wearing
I'm trying to get him to waste his
Spirit Still
Sunlight
Star
Wolf
Warrior.
summon activation effect.
I activate
Try and bring
my
a Salamangreat
monsters.
back to hand, or at least a fire monster in general.
The tuner monster
But
Junk
he's not
Synchron
biting,
of the
he's
world
actually playing
coalescing
kind of
to
smart.
Star.
It's rare to actually see that, but here we are.
Synchro Summon. Take flux. I activate a continuous spell.
Do that to try and see if he'll bite here. He still doesn't bite. He's playing extremely well. Unfortunately, the skill kind of bypasses this.
Each card has
Like, he played that as smart as he could have, and if he had back row, unfortunately for him, I had Lance.
I'll rev it up to blast through my limitations. The start. The evolution of life.
So Quasar does get to come out at least once in this climb.
Shooting Quasar Dragon. This is the strength of our
Claw actually prevents the monster from being destroyed by battle or card effects, so he didn't have to use the Bailings. Unfortunately, Quasar doesn't care.
Whoa. The power of my body.
Now you may be wondering why I kept that bonus replay on standby. I wasn't expecting what the final game was. Yep, I had that ready and went out of my way to have a Galaxy Eyes replay ready to show off because Galaxy Eyes is kind of sick now that the skill's been nerfed. And then I run into Galaxy Eyes on my rank up.
I'll prove that.
Duel.
Once more, don't open full combo, but here that's actually okay.
I flip over my face.
I'd rather play the
tuner
long
monster
game going
jumps
first, you know what I mean?
Synchron's effect. I'm counting on it. I synchro summon a monster. Level 5. I activate a continuous spell. The tuner monster jumps. I'm counting on it.
Just go straight to Crystal Wing, set 2, and pass my turn over.
I end my turn.
Time to hunt.
This is kind of a boring basic M board, but it works.
Let the hunt begin.
Next up, Xyz
I
Galaxy
activate the equipped spell Galaxy Zero.
tries to use Galaxy Zero. The reason I Cosmic this here is A, to try and get him to burn more cards from his hand,
I activate a quick
and
play
B,
spell.
in case he had Photon Stream of Destruction. That would have just straight up ended me.
I special summon Photon Thrasher. I pay my life points to activate the spell.
I don't know why he plays Photon Thrasher, but hey.
Photon Dragon.
I would think Photon Advancer would be better in that situation, but nonetheless.
Say hello to Galaxy.
2 Galaxy Eyes.
The universe coalesces into the light of chaos.
Neo Galaxy Eyes, and he makes one major mistake in doing that. Neo Galaxy Eyes has a forced effect activation.
Neo Galaxy Eyes negates the effects of all other cards.
You're not the only one full of
Photon
surprises.
Howling.
I activate my monster.
Yep.
effect.
This makes Crystal Wing
Show
impossible to run over.
yourself. I link summon my monster. I activate my monster's effect.
How's this for an answer? I
Chalice
flip
the
over my
Galaxy
face
Eyes
down.
Soul Flare Dragon?
I
You're
activate
a
a
little
quick
tougher
play
than I
spell.
expected.
Okay, I guess that's why he plays the Thrasher. Fair enough.
Time to put the pedal to the. I draw. From my hand, I activate a quick. The tuner monster jumps.
Chalice the Soul Flare?
Synchron's effect.
I won't let this be my
And yeah,
final
Quasar would have just ended him.
Growing up on the streets taught me everything has value. So every card and move led me to this victory.
Yeah, he knew how that was gonna go. And so, on the first attempt and on a 14-win streak, Synchron Quasar is back in King of Games once again after a month off. So, personal thoughts on this list outside of that one really bad Blue Eyes. Like, no offense, but that was bad. Anyway, with tuning off the list, we get access to Crystal Wing. What were they thinking? We also get access to Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. To be honest, I think Crystal Wing might be a little bit better. For one reason. The Banish is really good. But, you know what else is good? Stopping the monster effect from going off. The one downside to Draco is that the monster effect that activates still gets to resolve. So yeah. Ultimately, this list is back to being as consistent as it ever was, maybe even a little bit more so because now that we have access to Crystal Wing, we have access to a backup basic play in case we don't open our big combo. And in general, that's just nice to have. Having the Crystal Wing on board at least gives us consistent board presence as long as we open a way to go into it. And then if we have to on the following turn, we can go into Stardust Dragon and use the full effect of Bond Illuminates for Quasar. Or we can just make the turn 1 Quasar outright without needing Synchro Chase. If you open Jet and Doppel and they conflict your Synchro Chase, you can still make Quasar. It's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, Synchron Quasar is completely back. Is it meta? No, there is far worse out there right now. Most notably, Odd Eyes, Gandora Orcus, In my honest opinion, Speedroids are still really good. I don't know why people think otherwise. There's also... what was it? There was one more, I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, Mac Knight Crusadia. Those are far worse, and they are gatekeeping Synchron from being potentially at least, like, tier 2. I wouldn't say it's ever going to be meta again after hitting Jet Synchron Limit 3, and it should stay Limit 3, to be honest. We don't want Mind Control back in the deck. Just saying. But on that note, that's all I have to say for this video. We're back, we're cooking, and we are much better than ever before. And if you can't tell, I am really happy with this list. So, until the next video, whatever it may be, dive polls, duel links, whatever. Later, guys.